Okay, so I'm Butterfly to the Light, and I'm back with Sun Square Sun Synastry in astrology. Anytime we're talking about a square placement in synastry, or just period in astrology, we're talking about tension. We're describing tension here. Okay. We're describing tension between two elements, and where it's not that there's a full a misunderstanding going on. Okay. There's not a full misunderstanding going on with this placement. That's not the case. It's more about you actually sizing up your rival. Okay. Because until you've met the person whose sun is squaring your sun, and you see power definitely in the sun signs, you came across people here and there where you're just like, okay, this is a little bit of challenge, but I can do this, or maybe I won't even touch that person, or this is not a challenge at all, so it's too easy, or it's time for me to have fun, whatever. No, squares, you're coming up against you're coming up towards a challenge here, because you sense in the other not only what the other lacks, okay, not only what the other person lacks, but if the other person had what you had, they would be true competition, right? Because now you're entering into across the line of power. We have power plays playing out. It's like two kings or two queens trying to fight for one throne. Or I like for one throne, to become that king or the queen over that particular district or kingdom, right? Who's going to win? And you cannot afford to have this king over here come up and take away your kingdom. So now there's a problem. It's the competition comes up. You can see this in oppositions, but it's a little bit different. Competition comes up, and now it becomes, okay, you are trying to do what I'm trying to do. You're trying to take my kingdom. It's barely room. They fail to understand that there's room for the both of them. It's like, let's make this a king and a queen coming together, or a king and a queen coming together and building something even powerful, even more stronger. They forget about that. It's like all bets are off. And now you're getting, with the square aspect, you're getting the side eye placement. So what happens? What sets in? Mistrust, and things go downhill from there. Sun, square sun, is at an ultimate power trip. And where the opposition, there's a power trip as well, there's more of an acceptance of saying, okay, yeah, you're different than me. Oh, yeah, you're different than me. I mean, we have some things that are the same, but you're different than me. Hey, how about we incorporate the differences or just get lost? No. The square aspects kind of want to hang on to each other because they notice the differences in each other, and they know they can have it and add on to what they have, and, contribute to what they have, accentuate, have you say it, what they have. But at the same time, there's a threat of, yeah, but you may become more powerful than me about what I have, or what if you take what I have? So they start to lack trust. And the biggest thing with square aspects is they do not trust each other, and especially with the sun, because sun is what? Our ego. Sun is the willpower. So here, I feel like the most important thing is, if you're going to choose to come together, it's important to establish a lot of things up front. Like, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but yeah, you have to have those conversations, and you got to be willing to talk about your insecurities. Like, you got to be willing to say, you know what, I like you, but at the same time, I don't trust you. So that the other person could be like, well, why don't you trust me? You know, that's odd though, because I don't trust you either. Well, why? And then you really get into why, like, is there any valid reasons for the mistrust, or is this just mistrusting each other just because you're mistrusting each other? Because, and don't get me wrong, there has to be something hidden that's going on here, because remember, if you are in a position to where you're thinking and assuming, okay, this sucker over here is trying to take my place, or they could take my place, or there's a possibility that things ain't right with them, what are you going to do? Are you then going to be upfront with everything, every move that you make? No, you won't, because it's like you want to, but then again, there's parts that you're just like, okay, I don't know. You know, that's always there that you feel like you have to figure out, you know, and it's creating this power struggle. So it's good to upfront get these things out up front if you really like the person and you really want them in your life, because it can always come to like it's always a problem, or it's always a tension. Now I'm gonna tell you, people, like two suns that are square each other, there's definitely a tension, there's definitely a sexual tension. So these two suns are attracted to each other. That's the thing. Okay, so square. I'm going to give an example. Geminis and Virgos are squares. They make a square. And although they're ruled by Mercury, the aspect is still making a square between the two. Because they have Cancer, they have Leo. They have two signs in between them. Okay? And it's not enough to say, like, the sign next to you, okay, you're like my friend. The sign that's the third down for them, like the one sign in between them, it's like, oh, okay, you know, I could get to know some things about you, you know, like, you cool. The third sign down, which is making the two signs in between, it's kind of like, I can't really see you. It's like I gotta kind of lean over and see you. Am I seeing you the right way? See, from what I am seeing, you seem cool. But there's got to be something I don't see. So my point is that you have to be upfront, and you have to focus on creating trust between the two. And like I said, the attraction is there. So a lot of people that end up together in square relationships, and especially with the two suns, and there's other aspects in the chart that's playing out, but a lot of them end up together because they're pretty much attracted to each other. They're attracted to each other, point blank, period. But just like in any relationship, if you don't have the trust there, it can go down the drain. And if you're just having meaningless power struggles for no reason, it can go down the drain. Although the two people that are involved, these two suns that's involved, they're not seen as it's for no reason. So it's just competition. It's just unnecessary playouts that doesn't have to happen. So the best thing to do is establish trust, be upfront with conversation. Then you have to see, how do you bring your two kingdoms together? How do you bring the two kingdoms together? Don't be hiding people from each other, you know, and then months and years later it comes out, oh, that was your friend. See what I'm saying? You have to bring each other into each other's worlds. You have to make sure that the trust and the lines of communication stays open. So you bring your two kingdoms together. That means, yes, I'm going to be the queen over here. You the king over there. You got your kingdom. I got my queendom. Like, I run my queendom the way I want to run my queendom. And you run your kingdom the way you want to run your kingdom. And then guess what we do? We bring it together. Have y'all ever seen any story? See, that's the trick. Because have y'all ever seen any story where there's two different kingdoms and then, you know, they come together? I think it's possible. There has to be some story out there, you know. I just am not going far enough into my memory bank, but you have to bring the two kingdoms together and say, okay, so we got these kingdoms. What can we do to establish even bigger kingdom? When we put our kingdoms together, Like, you can have a powerhouse of things working out for you, but you have to realize that each other is not the competition. You're not competing against each other, okay? Unless it's a little healthy competition, and you have to let the energy work in a way to where you're consciously aware of, okay, we're trying to produce something together here, or bigger. Now, you keep your kingdom over there, because I ain't trying to take your kingdom over and then I'm going to keep my queendom here. It's all in here. Okay? Sun square sun. Sun square sun. Tension can definitely go at each other in a very warring manner, in a struggle for power. But if you can counteract that with communication, without communication, I don't know how y'all surviving. Like, you can survive, but it can be hard, okay? Because there's an attraction there, okay? So there's a high attraction. You just have to kind of let each other stay in their own lane, and then work on what you can work on together. If you can't bring the two kingdoms together and queendoms together, work on what you can work on together and say, okay, well, fine, you go ahead and do your thing, and I'm going to be doing my thing over here. Yeah. All right? Peace. Until next time, please subscribe so that you can stay updated on all of my videos.